Tatlong Duterte sa Senado, LGBTQ, Pride Rally, at marami pang iba. So for me, this is for Joseph and welcome to News Item Worthy Recap, Weekly Edition number 57. We've done covered since last week, so skip the answers provided if it piques your interest. Get the done for the placing select summation. Here are some page news commentary for your convenience. Tatlong Duterte sa Senado. Inihayag ni Mayora VP Sara ang posibleng magiging lineup na makita para sa 2025 midterms election para sa Senado na maaaring tumayong isang uri ng oposisyon laban sa Administrasyong Marcos. Sinabi ni VP Sara na maaaring tumakbo sa Senado ang kanyang ama at dating Presidente Rodrigo Duterte, Davao Mayor Sebastian Duterte, at Congressman Paulo Duterte.
Lahat sila raring na tumakbo Si PRD, Senator. Yung kuya ko, si Paulo Duterte, yung congressman ngayon, Senator. Si Sebastian Duterte. Yes, tatlo ang Duterte next year.
Confirm na ba yan galing sa'yo, VP? Or sa mama mo?
Confirmed yan. Ang ingon sa ako ang mama. Ang mudagan ang senador, ang ako ang manghod, si Baste Duterte. And siya ang mudagan sa 2028 president.
So, President, si
Ang
Baste,
ingon sa ako ang mama mo, balik daw ko sa Davao nga mayor.
Mahal nating nagbitiw sa DepEd as the kalihim of the department of CVP Sara Duterte in a pretty controversial, non-controversial way. If you want to learn more about the entire thing, you can watch my NIDW recap number 56 or my mini major tidbits na lalabas sa mga susunod na linggo patungkol sa pagbitiw ni VP Sara Duterte at ang pagtayo niya sa administrasyon at unity. Now, sinabi ni dating presidential spokesperson Harry Roque na magiging opposition raw si Sara na kanya namang pinabulaanan because again, meron pa silang good rapport ni Ferdinand Marcos Jr. The fact of the matter is that this doesn't negate the fact na nagkakaroon ng alitan ang mga dating magkachokaran noong 2022 halalan na alyansang Marcos at Duterte. That is also one of the reasons why they won in a landslide. Ikinatuwa naman ni Senator Ronald Bato de Rosa ang balitang iyon, particularly dahil nga sa falling out between the Duterte loyalists and Marcos Jr. loyalists, with Bato and Go being the only true Duterte allies in the Senate up for re-election. I mean, nandoon si, I think, Robin Padilla and probably Francisco Tolentino or Francis Tolentino. But again, they have some kind of differences that really made it so that Bato only thinks of him and Bongo to be the only ones against the world.
Yung possibility yun, no? Kung talagang hindi kami acceptable sa administrasyon, hindi kami dadalhin, hindi ba tayo pwede magpupumilit, di ba? So, we have to diskarte talaga through guerrilla warfare.
Now, this is a worrying aspect na magkakaroon na naman tayo ng mga magkakapamilya sa Kongreso. Isang katutak sa House of Representatives, tapos may magnanay, may magkapatid, may kapatid ng presidente, o kaya na may part of a prominent political family in the national and their respective local politics. At kung gusto nyong magkaroon pa ng mga ganitong breaking news at napapanahong mga balita at komentaryo, although, again, talagang mababa energy ko because it's 3 o'clock and I just woke up. Pero yun na nga. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell icon, like, comment, and share this video para lumago pa tayo and I can be motivated further to keep on keeping on. Kasi unti-unti na bumababa yung mga nakukuha kong views. Now, after shelling for about 15 seconds, let's go back to the video. We can't also take what the Constitution says as something to be used para pigilang tumakbo ang mga kandidato with their fam kasi the wording says in Article 2, Section 26 na the state shall guarantee equal access to opportunities for public service and prohibit political dynasties as may be defined by law. Now, the problem here is walang law enforceable that prohibits political dynasties. You also can't just bar your citizens in holding public offices kasi in the same time, sinabi rin na the state shall guarantee equal access to opportunities or for public service. So this is kind of a contradictory section in the Constitution. Kung titignan mo, and if you look at it from the POV of someone for a political dynastic background. Now, mahirap gumawa ng ganong batas kasi it will probably be held up against Article 2, Section 26, or at least the first part of it, to be declared by the Supreme Court as unconstitutional. The only realistic way you can enforce Article 2, Section 26 is to leave it. Leave it. You don't do anything with it, and rather provide that kung will of the people, they can just replace the political dynasties and place them with a budding new one. Yes, a budding new political dynasty. Because that's what we are founded upon. Sure, it's worrying na tatakbo sa politika itong tatlong mag-aama at magkakapatid and will probably be voted in by the people, pero it's not worrying dahil magkakamag-anak sila. Rather, worrying dahil alam nating iboboto lang sila ng sangkatauhan at ng taong bayan dahil sa kanilang apelyido. And that's what political dynasties are prone into doing and what turns them corrupt. Doing aside from giving their kins advantages in campaigning. Now, ang ating presidente at vice-presidente, puro lang naman sila unity. Wala naman silang konkretong plataforma. Hindi uma-attend ng mga debates. The only thing that helped them won are aside from political machineries, fake news, disinformation, and misinformation campaigns are the fact na anak sila ng mga dating populista at authoritariang presidente, which goes hand in hand with, again, misinformation, disinformation campaign. Dinala sila ng kanilang apelyido, ng kanilang mga ama, wala nang iba pa, maliban sa mga nasabi ko and some stuff that is better left unsaid. Now, sinasabi nilang maaring maging oposisyon ang mga ito considering nakikipagbakan na nga sila sa administrasyon, particularly with regards to the charter change o CHACHA and probably the issue in the West Philippine Sea at yung allegiance natin with either the United States and China. Now, kaya namang maraming nagsasabi na kung gusto pa nilang lumakas sila, or at least kung gusto nila pang magkaroon pa ng mas malupit na boses, sumama sila sa Liberal Party or kahit saang mga oposisyon pa para mas lalo pang lumakas. Pero ang hindi nga lang maganda dito is, if you watch my NIDW recap number 56, ang mga Duterte at kasalukuyang administrasyon are two sides of the same coin. Hindi sila tunay na opposition, hindi sila magiging tunay na opposition in the truest sense ng pagiging opposition sa ideolohiya at pamamalakad.
When we speak of issues, we can align, walang problema. And when we speak of working together for a electoral victory, kailangan hindi pwedeng marriage of convenience lang yan.
Hindi sila tunay na oposisyon in the truest sense ng pagiging oposisyon sa ideolohiya at pamamalakad. The true opposition para sa akin agrees with both the administration and even with the Dutertes on some issues, and I can't really give an exact or guaranteed speculation, pero one thing I can say is magiging exciting to mga bes. I will actually be voting for the Dutertes and the true opposition, which might include either Senator Trillanes, Laila de Lima, Chel Jokno, Bam Aquino, Franz Castro, and probably Raul Manuel, just to make it more interesting. And then iboboto ko rin sila Baste, sino isa? Si Piduch, ano isa? Fuck, I'm blanking. Piduch, Baste, and Paulo. Mga panatiko, dinumog ang Pride Rally. Now, this isn't really much of a surprise in a country colonized and subjugated through phraseology and conservative Catholicism from the get-go, pero what the fuck is wrong with you people? No, dinumog ng mga religious zealots and fanatics ang isang pride rally in Quezon City sa Quezon Memorial Soccer Circle nitong nakaraang linggo with huge stars headlining the main event nitong Sabado, including LGBTQ icon Vice Ganda, Glock 9 with his social-conscious vote or social-conscious Albaraz, and the belle of the ball, Benny. The Love Laban to Everyone Pride Night was reportedly attended by at least 70,000 people or 70,000 LGBTQ plus people and their allies with their shitty and some creative signs urging for tolerance and equal treatment, along with some pushing social conscious woke agenda for the Palestinian liberation, Ukrainian liberation, and some local politics mixed in. Now, of course, maraming mga panatiko ang lumabas sa kanilang mga lungga sa ilalim ng desk ng mga pare, kind of like Monica Lewinsky, to protest the Pride rally. I mean, imagine that. Protesting against love. Protest against loving thy neighbor and having their girthy sneakers down your throat and slapped in your perineum. Now, ipinopromote ito mga Pride rally na ito yung acceptance, dignity, tolerance, and representation along with recognition ng ating mga lesbos, gay lalus, bis, at marami pang iba in their ever-expanding alphabet morning cereal. Now, it's a free country and they can do whatever the hell they want. Pero how bored are they of their life to dedicate such precious time given to them by their God and choosing to spend it promoting hate and bigotry whenever they see two or more or even none people of the same sex or gender in a relationship. No, Pride is all about gender expression, liberty, and dignity as they live. We must recognize sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression, aka SOGI, para isemento ang equal protection and equal treatment and right against discrimination sa basihan ng gender orientation or expression. Alam naman natin na we already have that type of protection, the equal treatment and equal protection under the rule of law. Now, this is not needed in any sense na magkakaroon ng konkretong pagbabago, in a sense that the SOGI bill in all likelihood would just mean the recognition itself na magsesemento at madidrill sa utak ng tao ang prinsipyo ng equality at equal treatment ng mga tao in the LGBTQ plus community. Everything is already recognized, yung ganong prinsipyo. This is more of a symbolical passing of the bill to affirm the recognition. I mean, almost everything in the bill is all about protection against discrimination, forced re-education, or any form of therapy conversions, which would be the base case, or which should be the base case. Hindi na dapat natin talaga, or at least wala na dapat at the get-go yung discrimination, yung forced education, at yung therapy conversion mawala in all forms. No one chooses to be gay, lesbian, or whatever unless kailangan kumapit sa patalim. Now, this is all boilerplate and essentially meaningless aside from the symbolic na pagsuporta ng administrasyon na magpapasa sa ating mga kapatid. You can also support my channel at mga ganitong komentaryo or commentary if you subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share, and or comment at manood pa ng mga evergreen videos pertinent to today's political climate. The SOGI-SC bill just wants the state to protect according to existing laws, to affirm its commitment and outright say that these people in the community are protected under the law. Para wala ng fringe cases where pwedeng mai-argue na albeit politically incorrect yung ginawa ng isang employer, it is technically not illegal to fire someone or discriminate a group of people because it was not outright defined to be defending everyone because of this case. Kasi again, you are discriminated by this thing. And if this thing is not protected or outright said to be, again, defended, then they can leeway or weasel their way into winning the argument. Alam kong isa sa mga pinangangambahan ninyong lahat is yung consequences ng pagkakaroon ng politically correct na policy. Most specifically, the issue of trans people or anyone identifying as someone who would be more comfortable in the women's bathroom or whatever bathroom they choose to be in. But first off, this is just my opinion, and I am not a woman, so I don't have the urgency to think of everything that might happen. Although I, for one, don't think that anyone who wants to identify as someone who would be more comfortable in the women's bathroom is yung tendency for bad actors to take advantage of said policy na papayagan yung mga transgender to go to their preferred bathroom or what they claim to be for malicious actors. Now, I don't really particularly agree that transgender people should be able to go to their preferred bathroom, and albeit I don't want to feed into the mass hysteria at yung walang kakwenta-kwentang tao na nagme-meltdown when someone is apparently assaulted by a trans person or anyone for that matter, or at least those identifying, because those are just few and far in between. Pero that doesn't mean that we should ignore those. The only thing I'm saying is, although ito, or this just giving my 2 cents, mga nag-argue against because of the aforementioned worries, you really think they go into all of that trouble of dressing up or even just identifying to assault women? If they're in heat, mga horny, yung mga libog na talaga, at particularly feeling a bit rapey, kahit saang banyo pa yan, papasukan nila yan, kahit meron pang babae na triangle tapos may bilog doon. Ha? Papasukin nila yan kahit na women only ang bathroom na iyon. Pero there's an easy solution to all of this. Mga gender-neutral bathrooms. I mean, that's it. Even in my uni, may ganoon. It's much more inclusive, sometimes even more spacious than its binary counterpart. Means nga, ayun din ang ginagamit ko as someone who has the conventional SOGI SC. Because again, this does not only protect the SOGI SC does not only protect the members of LGBTQ plus community, but everyone, dahil everyone has their own sexual orientation, kahit na attracted ka or not attracted to anyone. If you're heterosexual or homosexual or non-sexual or asexual, it doesn't matter because that's still sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, and sexual characterization or something. I forgot yung SC. Pero yun na nga. Not to mention, mahirap naman patunayan na you are discriminated or fired or excluded because of your sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression or sex characteristics. So the penalties, the jail time would be irrelevant as long as walang ebidensya of any wrongdoings or detrimental actions because of your SOGI SC. Yan ang sinasabi ko sa inyo dahil this is just more of a recognition. Yung SOGI SC is just more of a recognition kasi again, we are already protected under the rule of law. No discrimination against creed, gender, age, I don't know the other ones. Pero yun na nga. Doesn't really matter. At yan na pagtatapos ng news na worthy recap weekly edition for roughly the 4th week of June 2024. Mag-switch to more topics and or corrections to balitas if you feel I misrepresented them in any way. Salamat sa panonood mga kapatid. For me, like, subscribe, and follow my links in socials to avoid Joseph that would be linked down below. Sa susunod mali, of course, paalam.